Here's an update video on the Corsica. So we've got a race coming up this weekend. This event is actually going to be a rallycross race, so a little bit different than a full-on gambler event, but it still should be a lot of fun. We're going to be able to get away with stock suspension and a lot of stock parts because it's going to be on a closed race course. So last night started doing some brakes, got new rotors and pads. It looks like somebody's done the suspension and they did it like right before they parked the car, which was in '07. So I'm gonna leave that stuff alone for now. I really haven't driven enough to know if the shocks are even any good. You can see there's a big old mess under there. I was doing the transmission fluid. I wanted to fully flush that system out, and the transmission filter and gasket that I got were wrong. And man, look how shallow this pan is. That's it. So as soon as you open this thing, all of the fluid just comes out, and it keeps coming out. You don't get a lot of fluid like in the pan like you do on a lot of transmissions when you can just kind of remove the pan. And it's a weird shape, so it didn't fit in either one of my drain buckets all the time, and it kind of got everywhere. So yeah, need to finish brakes and then go to AutoZone, do transmission service. Then I'm gonna go ahead and replace all of the coolant hoses. It is way hot here in Texas. It should be pretty hot where we're going to, in Oklahoma is where the event is. The biggest like upgrade or different thing is going to be these tires. So these are one size smaller than stock, so it should give us a little bit of extra low end, and paid 170 bucks for them brand new with shipping, which is pretty nice. So they're made by Continental, but they're one of their like offshoot brands, but it still should be a really good quality tire, and they're studdable. We're not gonna run studs. I gotta take one of those tires back to the shop today because they put it on backwards. Yep, I took the rear drums apart and cleaned them all out. It looked like someone had just done rear brake service. So I've got all that stuff in the box, so I won't have to use it. I've got a couple tie rods and things, and then I'm gonna do some work to the steering because it's all slopped out. Not really anything has changed under here except for a radiator cap between my last video. So for the tie rods, I'm gonna have to replace the inner bushings on the rack. I don't even know if you can see them, but these are kind of a pain. Yeah, I can see them, but I don't even know if you'll be able to pick them out. They're a real pain in the butt. There's not a lot of room in there, but I've got some new Moog bushings to stick in. So the car runs really great, surprisingly. I think maybe it just did need a fuel pump when they parked it. So yep, got to do brakes, transmission service, and then I'm also going to do all the coolant hoses and flush out the engine coolant one more time. So there's your little update, and hopefully we'll have another one soon, and we'll get maybe one good road test in before we load this thing up on a trailer and go racing.